Have you ever paused for a moment, looked within, and asked yourself, who am I really? And more importantly, do I truly like the person I see? Find out more in our podcast on Bob Proctor.
Hello from Rise and Thrive. Today we're diving into the world of self-image and personal growth with Bob Proctor.
Okay.
A true giant in the field of motivation. You shared some of his YouTube videos, and we're excited to explore these ideas together.
Yeah.
Have you ever stopped to think, do you truly know who you are?
Right.
And what you're capable of?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Proctor really hits home with this idea that most people never tap into their full potential. He argues it's like having a $1 million racehorse and only ever letting it walk.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
So in this deep dive, we'll unpack some of Proctor's key ideas.
Okay.
Starting with the concept of a winning image. From his video, Create Your Winning Image. What stood out to me is this idea that visualizing success is essential for achieving it. He suggests creating a crystal clear mental picture of your ideal life, your dream home, your ideal career, everything.
What's fascinating here is that Proctor isn't just talking about daydreaming. He's advocating for a very deliberate practice of visualization. He suggests engaging all your senses. What do you see, hear, feel, even smell in this vision of success? It's like creating a blueprint for your subconscious mind to follow.
I've dabbled in visualization before, but I never thought about engaging all my senses.
Okay.
That's a really interesting idea. But how does this tie into actually achieving our goals? It can't be as simple as just imagining it, right?
Right. It's not magic.
Yeah.
Proctor argues that visualization is a powerful tool for shaping our beliefs and expectations, which ultimately influence our actions. He compares it to the physical world. If an architect can design a skyscraper in their mind, then that skyscraper can be built in the real world.
So it's about aligning our inner world with our outer world. And speaking of aligning our inner world, Proctor also dives deep into the importance of understanding our own minds. In his video, Do You Know Who You Are? He even shares a powerful quote from Van Gogh.
Okay.
I dream my painting, and then I paint my dream.
I love that quote. It highlights how our imagination can be a powerful driving force in achieving our goals. Proctor argues that we need to study how our thoughts and beliefs create our reality.
So it's not just about positive thinking.
Right.
It's about understanding the mechanics of our minds.
Exactly. Proctor encourages us to become students of our own minds.
Okay.
He even suggests taking it a step further and studying individuals who are already successful in the areas we want to excel in.
Okay.
Don't just rely on the advice of people in your immediate circle.
Yeah.
Seek out experts, mentors, and role models.
That makes sense. It's like seeking financial advice from someone who's financially successful.
Right.
Not from someone who's struggling with debt.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears to the concept of self-image, which Proctor explores in his video, How to Improve Your Self-Image. He highlights the work of Dr. Maxwell Maltz, a plastic surgeon, who observed a fascinating phenomenon.
Okay, tell me more.
Dr. Maltz noticed that when people's physical appearances improved through surgery, their personalities and self-confidence often transformed as well.
Interesting.
This suggests a strong connection between our external image and our internal self-image.
I can relate to that. Think about how a new outfit or a fresh haircut can make you feel more confident.
Exactly. And Proctor takes this a step further and offers a practical tip for improving our self-image.
Okay.
He recommends writing a detailed description of ourselves as we want to be. And here's the key, writing it in the present tense as if it's already true.
So instead of saying, I want to be confident, you would write, I am confident.
Interesting.
Exactly. But wouldn't that feel a little strange at first?
It might feel a bit odd initially.
Yeah.
But Proctor believes that repeatedly exposing ourselves to this positive self-image can gradually reshape how we perceive ourselves. It's like planting a seed in our subconscious mind and nurturing it with positive affirmations.
This reminds me of the recurring theme in Proctor's work. We become what we think about.
Right.
He encourages us to be mindful of our thoughts, reject negativity, and cultivate a winning attitude.
Absolutely. He even shares an intriguing anecdote in Do You Know Who You Are about giving children blank report cards at the beginning of the school year and asking them to fill in the grades they want to achieve.
Wow. I've never heard of that before. That's a bold approach.
It is. It's all about instilling a positive self-image and a belief in their ability to succeed from a young age.
I wonder if more schools should try that approach.
Mm-hmm.
It would be fascinating to see the impact on students' self-belief and academic performance. But what about us adults who didn't have that kind of encouragement growing up?
Mm-hmm.
How can we start to reshape our self-image and cultivate a more positive outlook?
That's a great question. Proctor suggests starting by becoming aware of the negative self-talk that might be holding us back.
Okay, so becoming aware of those inner critics.
Exactly. Once we're aware of those negative thoughts, we can start to challenge them.
So it's about questioning those limiting beliefs. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Not just accepting them as truth.
Precisely. Proctor emphasizes that we have the power to choose our thoughts.
Okay.
He encourages us to ask ourselves, will this thought help me get to where I want to go? If the answer is no,
right,
it's time to replace that thought with a more empowering one.
So it's like weeding a garden.
Mm-hmm.
We need to pull out the weeds of negative self-talk and plant the seeds of positive affirmations.
That's a great analogy. And remember, this is a process. It takes time and consistent effort to reshape our thinking patterns.
This is all incredibly fascinating, but I'm curious to hear more about the practical steps we can take to apply these ideas.
That's a great segue. Proctor emphasizes that knowledge without action is useless.
So it's not enough to just understand these concepts.
Right.
We need to put them into practice.
Exactly. And one of the most powerful tools for bridging the gap between knowing and doing is, you guessed it,
Okay.
visualization.
Okay, so we're back to visualizing our desired outcomes.
Mm.
But how do we do it effectively? Is there a specific technique?
Proctor suggests creating a very vivid and detailed mental picture of our ideal life.
Okay.
It's not just about seeing it in our mind's eye. It's about engaging all our senses.
So we need to imagine what it feels like, smells like, sounds like to be living our dream life.
Yes. The more real we can make it in our minds,
Yeah.
the more likely we are to manifest it in our physical reality.
It sounds like we're training our minds to believe that it's possible that it's already happening.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And Proctor suggests combining visualization with affirmation.
Okay.
Repeating positive statements about ourselves and our goals.
So it's like a 1-2 punch of mental conditioning.
Exactly. And he also stresses the importance of surrounding ourselves with positive influences.
Okay.
People, books, environments, anything that reinforces our winning image.
So it's about creating a supportive ecosystem for our growth.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to seek out mentors or role models who are already living the life you aspire to.
It's like finding people who embody that winning image.
Right. And remember, this is a journey.
Yeah.
There will be setbacks. There will be moments of doubt. But the key is to keep returning to that vision, to keep feeding your mind with positive affirmations and beliefs.
It's about consistency and persistence.
Absolutely. And most importantly, believe in yourself. You have the power to create the life you desire. It all starts with that belief.
I think that's a great place to pause for now.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground,
Yeah.
but there's still so much to explore.
Yeah, it really is a journey. And, one thing that struck me about Proctor's message is his honesty about the challenges of achieving success. He doesn't sugarcoat the fact that statistically most people don't reach their full potential.
That's true. And do you know who you are? He mentions that a staggering 95% of people end up without financial security, even after a lifetime of work.
It's a stark reality check, isn't it?
Yeah.
It begs the question, what sets apart that 5% who do achieve financial freedom? Is it luck, circumstance, or something more?
Right. What's the secret sauce?
Proctor believes it comes down to understanding and applying certain principles, universal laws of success that have been around for centuries.
So it's not about some magic formula or get-rich-quick scheme, but about tapping into these fundamental principles.
Exactly. He emphasizes that these principles can work for anyone, regardless of their background or circumstances. It's all about aligning our thoughts, beliefs, and actions with these laws.
He compares it to the laws of physics, saying you can't just defy gravity. There are universal laws at play, and success is no different.
That's a great analogy. And one of the key principles Proctor highlights is the power of our subconscious mind. He talks about how our subconscious beliefs and programming can often hold us back from achieving our full potential.
Yeah, he really delves into this in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. He explains how our subconscious is like this incredibly powerful computer running in the background, constantly influencing our thoughts, feelings, and actions.
And the challenge is that we're often not even aware of these subconscious programs that are running.
Right.
We might consciously be trying to achieve something, but our subconscious beliefs might be sabotaging us without us even realizing it.
It's like having a car with the parking brake on. You can press the gas pedal all you want, but you won't get very far.
That's a perfect illustration.
Yeah.
And Proctor gives the example of someone who wants to lose weight but keeps sabotaging themselves with unhealthy eating habits.
Right.
It's like their subconscious programming is working against their conscious goals.
So how do we release the parking brake? How do we reprogram our subconscious mind to support our goals?
Proctor suggests several techniques. One is repetition.
Okay.
By repeatedly exposing ourselves to new ideas, beliefs, and ways of thinking, we can start to override those old programs.
It's like creating new neural pathways in our brain.
Right.
Like paving new roads to success.
Exactly. And another powerful technique is visualization, which we've already touched upon. It's important to vividly imagine ourselves achieving our goals and even feeling the emotions associated with that success.
He talks about the importance of engaging all of our senses in the visualization process. It's not just about seeing it, but feeling it, hearing it, even smelling it if you can.
Yes. The more vivid and detailed the visualization, the more powerful it becomes. It's like sending a strong signal to our subconscious mind saying, this is what we want.
And this ties into what he calls autosuggestion, right? Repeating positive affirmations to ourselves over and over again to reprogram our subconscious mind.
Exactly. It's like planting seeds in the garden of our mind. The more we water those seeds with positive affirmations and beliefs, the more likely they are to grow into strong, healthy plants.
This all makes sense, but it also sounds like a lot of internal work. What about our external environment? Does that play a role in shaping our self-image and our chances of success?
Absolutely. Proctor emphasizes the importance of surrounding ourselves with positive influences.
Yeah.
That means surrounding ourselves with people who inspire us, books that empower us, and environments that uplift us.
It's like creating a positive force field around ourselves.
Exactly. Our environment plays a huge role in shaping our thoughts and beliefs. It's like osmosis.
Right.
We absorb the energy of the people and places around us.
So if we're constantly surrounded by negativity, it's going to be much harder to maintain a positive self-image and a winning attitude.
Precisely. We need to be intentional about curating our environment to support our growth and success.
Proctor also stresses the importance of seeking guidance from experts in the areas we want to improve. He encourages us to study those who are already successful and learn from their experiences.
It's like having a roadmap to success.
Yeah.
We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can learn from those who have already paved the path.
And he specifically cautions against taking advice from people who haven't achieved what we're aiming for. He says, there's no point in asking a person how to earn a lot of money if they're only earning $10,000 a year.
I love that quote. It's so true.
Yeah.
We need to seek guidance from those who are already living the results we desire.
It's like asking a fish for advice on how to climb a tree.
Exactly. We need to find the right mentors, guides, and sources of inspiration.
So it's about surrounding ourselves with people who are playing the game at a higher level, who can show us the ropes and guide us along the way.
Precisely. And this ties into Proctor's emphasis on continuous learning. He believes that education isn't just about acquiring knowledge, but about developing the faculties of our minds to achieve anything we desire.
He sees education as more than just accumulating facts and figures.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He emphasizes that the word education comes from the Latin word educo, meaning to draw out from within. It's about tapping into that infinite potential that lies within each of us, that reservoir of talent and ability just waiting to be unleashed.
So it's not about filling our minds with information, but about expanding our capacity to think, to create, to achieve. It's about becoming lifelong learners, always seeking to grow and evolve.
That's the essence of it. And Proctor believes that we can learn to do anything, achieve anything, if we properly train our minds and align ourselves with those universal laws of success.
This all ties back to that initial question, do you know who you truly are? It's about discovering our true potential, recognizing our inherent worth and value, and then taking action to manifest that potential in the world.
It's incredibly empowering, isn't it?
It really is. It shifts the focus from limitations to possibilities. It reminds us that we're not defined by our past or our circumstances, but by our beliefs and our actions.
Exactly. And once we shift those beliefs and start taking aligned action, we can literally change our reality. It's all about rewiring our minds for success.
We've talked a lot about the power of positive thinking. But does Proctor ever acknowledge the role of negativity? Let's be honest, it's impossible to be positive all the time.
You're right. It's not about being a Pollyanna and pretending that negativity doesn't exist. Proctor acknowledges that negativity is a part of life.
Right.
We all experience setbacks, disappointments, and challenges.
And do you know who you are? He mentions that we're constantly bombarded with negative news and influences, especially through media.
Exactly. And he doesn't advocate for ignoring or suppressing these negative thoughts and emotions.
Yep.
Instead, he encourages us to examine them, understand where they're coming from, and consciously choose to focus on the positive.
So it's not about denying negativity, but about managing it effectively.
Precisely. He uses the analogy of weeding a garden.
Okay.
We need to pull out the weeds of negative thoughts and beliefs so that the flowers of positivity can flourish.
I love that analogy. It's so simple, but so powerful. We need to be mindful gardeners of our minds, tending to the soil of our thoughts and nurturing the seeds of positivity.
That's a great way to put it. And he encourages us to ask ourselves a crucial question whenever we encounter a negative thought. Will this idea help me get to where I want to go?
So it's about evaluating our thoughts and seeing if they're aligned with our goals.
Exactly. If the answer is no, then it's time to reject that thought and replace it with a more empowering one.
That's such a simple but effective strategy for managing negativity. We don't have to get bogged down in thoughts that don't serve us.
Right. And he also talks about choosing our emotional responses to situations.
Okay.
He says, let's ask ourselves when we read something in the paper, do I want to get emotionally involved in that idea? If it's a negative idea, I don't want to get emotionally involved with it.
It's about recognizing that we have a choice in how we react to external events.
Exactly. We have the power to choose how we respond, and our response determines our experience.
Right.
As Proctor often says, we become what we think about.
That brings us to one of Proctor's most intriguing ideas.
Yeah.
The concept of paradigm shifting. He talks about how our paradigms, our mental models of the world, shape our perceptions and ultimately determine our results.
A paradigm is like a mental map we use to navigate the world. It's a set of beliefs or assumptions that we hold to be true, often unconsciously.
So we might be operating from a paradigm that's actually holding us back without even realizing it.
Right. We might have a paradigm about money, for example, that tells us wealth is only for a select few, or that it's hard to come by.
Or we might have a paradigm about ourselves that tells us we're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough to achieve our goals.
Exactly. And these paradigms can become self-fulfilling prophecies. If we believe we're not capable of success, we'll likely act in ways that sabotage our efforts.
So how do we break free from these limiting paradigms? How do we shift our mental models to support our goals and aspirations?
Well, Proctor emphasizes that paradigm shifting is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It requires conscious effort and a willingness to challenge our deeply held beliefs.
So it's about becoming aware of the mental maps we're using and then questioning their validity.
Exactly. It's like taking inventory of our mental furniture. What beliefs are serving us? What beliefs are holding us back?
And once we've identified those limiting paradigms, we can start to challenge them, to question their validity, to look for evidence that contradicts them.
He encourages us to be open to new information, new perspectives, new ways of seeing the world. It's like expanding our mental horizons, allowing ourselves to see beyond the confines of our current beliefs.
It's about being willing to upgrade our mental software, to install a new operating system that supports a higher level of functioning.
That's a great way to put it. And the key is to replace those limiting paradigms with new empowering ones.
Okay.
Paradigms that support our growth, our success, our happiness.
So instead of believing that wealth is scarce, we might adopt a paradigm that abundance is everywhere.
Exactly. Or instead of believing that we're not good enough, we might embrace a paradigm that tells us we're worthy, capable, and deserving of success.
It's like trading in our old rusty bicycle for a brand new high-performance sports car. We're upgrading our mental vehicles to take us further faster.
I love that analogy. Paradigm shifting is all about upgrading our mental models to create the lives we truly desire.
It's about recognizing that we're not limited by our past conditioning or by our current circumstances. We have the power to choose new beliefs, new paradigms, new realities. It's about stepping into our full potential and embracing the power to create the lives we were meant to live.
It is incredibly liberating, isn't it? It removes those self-imposed limitations, the excuses, and the self-doubt that hold us back.
It's like finally throwing off the shackles and realizing we can soar.
Yeah.
But it's not enough to just change our thinking. We need to take action, right?
Absolutely. Proctor emphasizes that action is the bridge between the world of thought and the world of form. It's the catalyst that turns our dreams into reality.
It's like having a blueprint for a beautiful house, but never actually building it. We can have all the grand visions in the world, but if we don't take action, they'll remain just that. Visions.
You hit the nail on the head. Proctor uses the analogy of having a ship fully equipped and ready to sail, but remaining docked in the harbor.
Right.
We need to raise the anchor, set sail, and chart our course.
So it's about taking that first step, even if it feels small or uncertain, and then taking another step and another, building momentum as we go.
He reminds us that we don't need to have all the answers or wait for the perfect moment to start taking action. We can learn and adjust along the way. It's about progress, not perfection.
He also cautions against procrastination, which he sees as a major obstacle to success.
Proctor loves to quote Goethe, who said, "Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do."
That quote is a powerful reminder that action is the key to unlocking our potential. But we don't have to go it alone, do we?
Absolutely not. Proctor emphasizes the importance of seeking support, building a team, and leveraging our resources.
It's about recognizing that we are all interconnected and can achieve so much more when we collaborate.
He encourages us to find mentors, join mastermind groups, and surround ourselves with people who inspire and support our growth.
So to wrap things up, Proctor's message is a call to action.
Right.
It's an invitation to step into our power, to embrace our potential, and to create the lives we truly desire.
It's a reminder that we are not limited by our past or by our circumstances. We have the power to choose our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions. And those choices ultimately shape our destiny.
He empowers us to become the architects of our own lives, the masters of our fate.
He reminds us that the power to create our winning image lies within each of us.
This has been an incredibly insightful deep dive into the world of Bob Proctor. We've explored his ideas on visualization, the subconscious mind paradigm shifting, and the importance of action. It all boils down to this empowering message. We have the power to create our own winning image and shape our own reality.
So as we conclude this exploration, I'd like to leave you with a question to ponder. What resonated most with you from Proctor's teachings? What action will you take today to apply these principles to your life?
What one step can you take right now to start creating your own winning image?
Remember, you have the power within you to achieve anything you set your mind to. Believe in yourself, take action, and watch your dreams unfold.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of self-discovery. Until next time, keep diving deep.